Hi, my name is Jen. I'm with Desert Sunset Travel, and today we're going to talk about making the most of your sea days. I actually get this question asked a lot, and a lot of people are always like, "Hey, Jen, you're traveling solo. What the heck do you do by yourself on sea days? How do you keep yourself sane? Do you get lonely? Especially since I'm out of Galveston, where normally go. There's 1 to 2 sea days, so I haven't really met a lot of people on my excursions like I normally do. To be honest, what I do is I relax. I get to just know the ship and check out the activities. The first thing I do is I will go to the spa, and I'll do that first thing in the morning, because if you go later, a lot of people show up and it gets really loud and it gets crowded and it becomes awkward when you're all in this giant colossal pool with a whole bunch of couples. It just makes you feel very uncomfortable. So I just get out and I go off and do my own thing. For me, I do the first thing in the morning. As soon as the spa opens, I'll go up there, I'll go relax, I'll get on the chairs, relax. And then closer to, like, I guess a proper breakfast time, I'll either go have breakfast or I'll just go get my coffee. And then what I will do is sometimes I'll hit up the casino, because sometimes they have like little casino games. And then if I am getting overwhelmed by people, then I'll just go back to my cabin. I usually bring a crochet project with me, and I'll go ahead and crochet right there in my cabin. If I'm on the Jubilee has this giant center stage, and you'll sometimes see the performers practice. So I'll go up to like one of the higher levels of the floor of the theater area, and I'll go and just watch them. It's not in the theater, but in the center stage, they have these tiered seating. So I'll go to the higher stand and I'll just watch them and crochet, and I'll watch them perform. And it's great because sometimes some people will come up to me and they'll see me crochet and they'll be like, "Hey," and it's a conversation starter. And I get to start know people. Sometimes I meet people from dinner from the night before, and who had seen me and they were like, "Oh, you're by yourself." And then we'll go in, or I'll meet people at the bar and I'll go do. And so there's tons of things to do. I never feel alone. Where I go, I always feel like someone's talking to me. I have never felt alone on any sea day. In fact, most of the time, I'm overwhelmed from people. I'm talking to me and I don't want to be bugged. And I go back to my room and I hide out in my room. And usually that's around between mid afternoon, because that's when my social battery is pretty much done. So I'll go back to the room and I'll either take a nap or watch a movie or do some work that I have to do. Or I'll even FaceTime my husband. That's one of the great things. So there's a lot of things to do on sea day if you're by yourself. Plus, there's all the trivia. If I'm still feeling social, I'll go to the trivia and I'll hang out. A lot of times they have other people groups, or I'll just answer them myself. If I see someone struggling and I know the answer, I'll whisper to them, "This is what the answer is." There's ways to go ahead and get out there. Again, one of the first things you want to do when you do get on the ship is definitely, look at that sea day. And I always look at the day before and I mark everything. Ooh, this is the things I want to do. Those are the tips that I can suggest. As far as on sea day, you're going to want to look at the schedule at the beginning of the day or the day before and mark what you want to do. And then as far as balancing relaxation and doing the activities, if you're by yourself, do what you want. You don't have to do everything. A lot of times they repeat the shows. If they don't repeat the shows, that's fine. It gives you an excuse to book another cruise. But for the most part, you don't have to do everything. Do what you want to do. If you're too tired to go to the show, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't feel guilty about it. Just relax and go hang out at the spa, or if you're on one of the Vista class ships, if you got a Havana Cabana, hang out at the Havana pool area. That's usually pretty quiet, pretty mellow. And then also, even on your balcony, if you can do the spa, the Serenity deck tends to be a little full during the peak of the day when it's hot and whatnot. But If you go in the early morning or closer to dinner time, it tends to get a little bit more mellow and not quite as busy. So it will be a little bit more quieter. Plus, there's no kids there, so you can relax a little bit because kids are not allowed up in there. And they're usually pretty good about telling them to leave the area, for what I've seen. Do what feels good for you. But if you liked any of the suggestions that I said, or if this helped you at all with visualizing your own C day, please like and subscribe, and also ring that bell, hit the bell, so that way you know next time I post anything. All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.